What's up, everybody? My name is Erin, and welcome to the Mad Maker Studio, and welcome back to Lamplight City. We are in case number 5, which I feel is the last case. We found a connection to Bill's murderer. The flower shop burglar is the justice killer. He's leaving Easter lilies at all of his crime scenes. There are so many moving parts, so many things to do. We've got so many places on our map to visit. Like, I'm almost at a loss of what to do right now. So I'm just going to take it step by step, maybe revisit some locations. We haven't been to the coffee house yet, so let's go there and talk to the server who's there. Sitting in my seat, sir.
You heard about the murderer? The justice killer?
Yeah, scary stuff.
I wouldn't worry too much about it. He's only killing guys in the jump.
Yeah, but I live in the
Man,
jump,
Harry
remember?
Potter grew up to be an asshole.
Oh, yeah. Well, just keep an eye out. And if you do get killed, I just want you to know, I'm not settling your tab. Pretty crazy, huh? Killing everyone out there, huh?
I don't know, it's just I can tell you, there's gonna be someone there. I'd stay away.
That's so funny. Hey, serving girl.
Begging your pardon, miss.
How can I help you, sir? Was involved, yes. I haven't spoken to him in nearly 2 months.
Oh, were you not aware of his death then?
What? Ennis is dead?
Well, this is awkward.
Indeed. I'm sorry to have to be the bearer of bad news.
How did it happen?
I'm afraid he was murdered.
Murdered? By who? And why?
Those are exactly the questions I'm trying to answer myself.
Oh, I see. Are you a detective?
A private investigator, yes.
Well, I'll answer what I can. If it helps any, that is.
I'm certain it will. What was your relationship with Mr. Bowditch like?
Oh, well, it was nice at first. He was a proper gentleman-like. But then something changed.
Oh?
It's like I told Ruby. I think he might have got hit on the head at work, because he seemed to be a completely different person. He'd get angry for no reason. He even... Well, that bit's not important. At first, I thought he was just going through some rough times, but after a while I realized he'd changed for the worse. So I broke things off. He wasn't too happy about it, but I wasn't going to stick with a man like that.
This friend of yours, Ruby, did she know an MP named Percival McDonough?
I'm not sure. Ruby knows a lot of men.
Is that so?
Well, no, I don't mean... It's just... Oh, damn it all, me and my big mouth. She'll have my guts for garters now.
It's all right. No one's in trouble. But I think I'd like to speak with Ruby. Could you tell me where I can find her?
No. You see, she moves around quite a lot. Never in the same place for more than a night or two.
Right. I think she's given us a clear picture of what Ruby does for a living. Normally, I'd be all for pressing this girl more until she cracks, but I like her. I think we'll be able to find Ruby without causing her more discomfiture.
Well, thank you for the information. You've been very helpful. You've been working here for quite a while, haven't you?
I have, yes. Coming up on 3 years. Been a real pleasure getting to know all the regulars. They've come to be sort of like a second family. By the way, whatever happened with you and your lady friend?
I beg your pardon?
Oh, that nice lady you met in here a couple of times. Did it work out between the two of you?
Oh, that? No, that was strictly business.
Right. Well, if you see her, tell her I said hello.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
Justice killer? Is that some kind of pesticide?
No, it isn't. Never mind. I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's go ahead and recap. We've got to find the justice killer, obviously. We've got to learn more about Reggie Willingham's personal life. Speak with Mrs. McDonough. Speak to the serving girl at the ruined coffee house, which we did? Why is it not checked off? I guess we'll have to come back and talk to her if we find out more information. Gascon Docks. Who find out who sabotaged the iron mill. Locate route. Okay. There are so many places on the map. So much to do. So many people to see. It's a lot. Hey, is that Trevor Hastings?
Trevor Hastings, is that you?
Why, Detective Fordham. Fancy seeing you again. What brings you down to the docks?
I'm trying to track down a serial murderer, who I believe is the same man who was breaking into the flower shop.
You don't say. I wish I could help you, but the guy never came back after the night you and your partner came around. Where is your partner anyway?
Oh, he's around.
Well, give him my regards. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get this crate back, or Cecilia will have my head on a platter.
Of course. Good seeing you again.
He's around? That's probably the most clever thing you've said in months. Well done.
Can we keep talking to him?
Keep up the good work, Mr. Hastings.
I guess not.
Ah, the chum. You can never truly get away from it as much as you may try. Blank surfaces don't stay that way for very long around here.
Huh? What? Who is it?
Hello, sir. I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions.
Go ahead, but make it quick. Time is money, after all.
Did you employ a man named Ennis Bowditch?
I did, yes. He only worked for me occasionally, but he was always punctual and performed his job well. I learned recently that he had been killed. It was a tremendous shame. Workers of his caliber are so hard to come by.
Do you have any information relating to Mr. Bowditch's murder?
I'm afraid not. The truth is, I knew very little about him. It's the same with most of my men. I have a business to run, you see. It affords me very little time to socialize.
What does your work here involve?
I'm in charge of tracking and cataloging all the cargo that passes through here. I receive the shipping manifest and make sure that things get unloaded and sent to the right places.
And you do all this by yourself?
Well, of course not. I'm in charge of administration. A team of workers does all the heavy lifting.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
I believe I saw a headline in the newspaper recently mentioning that name, but I dismissed it as fear-mongering nonsense. There are more important things I need to worry about.
But the Justice Killer is directly responsible for the death of one of your workers.
Oh? Is that right? Well, there's nothing I can do about it. What my men get up to in their off time is none of my business.
Wow, this guy is even worse than you, Miles.
Thank you for your time. I'll let you return to work.
Right you are.
Fordham, how goes the investigation?
I'm making some headway.
Is that right? I certainly hope so for your sake.
The rumor was always that the chief kept a bottle of something in a secret compartment in this cabinet. In Snelling's case, it's probably just water. Ah, Chief Jacobs. Now there was a leader. Every book and file in there is organized to perfection. I'll bet Snelling gets flustered if anything is even a millimeter out of place. You should bump into the side when he's not looking.
Chief Snelling?
Yes, Fordham?
What information do you have on the Justice Killer?
Clearly not as much as you.
Oh, I see how this is gonna go.
Well, what do you have?
A list of 5 victims, some information on each of them, and no clear idea what connects them. Until your discovery of the lily at each scene, that was where we stood. While I doubt this discovery will do much to aid in tracking him down, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Do you know anything about Percival McDonough?
He's a member of parliament. I believe his constituency is somewhere in central Kingsland. From the reports I've gotten, McDonough led a rather unassuming life for a politician. He is, however, the first victim who didn't live in Chumley. Either there's a link we've missed, or the killer is changing his method. Then again, since you seem so confident in your abilities to resolve this matter, I assume you'll provide an explanation.
Count on it. What do you know about the Justice Killer's previous victims?
Only what's in their files. All working men from Chumley. That's the only link.
You didn't look further into their personal lives? Maybe they had some social connection.
As I said, the detectives found nothing. You seem to think you can do better, so I'll leave it up to you.
You have to wonder how much more thorough the department's investigations would have been if the 4 men were all rich like McDonough.
So I see that...
It is, in fact. But I'm sure Upton has kept you well informed of our activities. Incidentally, the woman accused in the Harris kidnapping is set to testify in court today.
Linda Walker's trial is today? That was fast.
Indeed. Sometimes the wheels of justice grind slowly. Sometimes they spin out of control. She'll be taking the stand within the hour. If you care to hear her for yourself, best get going soon.
Have you got any information on the Redites?
The Redites? That ridiculous gang of troublemakers? Yes, I have some information. What's your interest in them?
A witness is refusing to speak with me unless I can figure out who sabotaged his iron mill.
I see. All I can offer is a list of names of known Redites along with their last known whereabouts. But I remind you that you only have until tomorrow afternoon before this indulgence expires, and I throw you in jail. This seems like a waste of time.
That's my decision to make.
Very well. I'll give you the list when you're ready to leave.
Enjoying your new position, Snelling?
Reaping the rewards for years of hard work and dedicated service. A gratifying feeling you'll never be able to experience.
Oh, I get my gratification in other ways.
I'm sure you do, and I'd honestly rather not know about them.
Listen, about Leger's death.
I don't want to hear it, Fordham. What happened, happened. Nothing you can say is going to change my opinion on the matter.
And if I manage to find the man responsible?
The man responsible is standing before me. Even if you manage to find the culprit you let escape, it isn't going to bring Leger back from the dead.
But it will bring closure to the matter.
If that thought is what allows you to sleep at night, then so be it.
What makes him think you sleep at night?
I need to get back to my investigation.
Yes, time is not on your side, Fordham.
Dang, he's a bad boss.
Here you are. This is the most recent list of known Redites.
This is a lot of names. If we're going to track down this saboteur, it might be best to retire to a more tranquil environment. Fancy a trip back to Upton's?
Sure, but after I read this. Redite activists, 1840 to 1844. Clovis Sullivan, suspect in 3 instances of sabotage. LKW, La Chosa, Western Vespuccia. Guy McKee, arrested on charges of attempted murder. Darlington Prison, 15-year sentence. Paris Wilson, suspect in 2 instances of sabotage. Hanover Street, Worcester. Marcus Chapman, involved in a factory explosion. He's deceased. Peyton Ferguson, suspect in 6 instances of sabotage. 19 St. Louis Road, Gascon. Lucian Donaldson, suspect in 4 instances of sabotage. Whoa, that's a lot. There's a lot of sabotage. A lot of saboteur.
Right. This should be a quiet enough spot to concentrate on finding that saboteur. I just hope Upton doesn't mind you turning her parlor into your own personal study.
Just
I'm
stick
sure
it right
she'll
on
have
the
no
door.
objection. Now, let's have a look at that list again.
Okay, we're going to... Okay, we now get more
I
information.
think we can rule out Mr. Sullivan as a suspect. He's Western Vespuccia's problem now. Unless Mr. McKee has escaped from prison, which I highly doubt, he's not our man. Paris Wilson. Those initials don't match the ones on the letter. I don't think this is our suspect. If dead men could cause explosions, let's just say things would be a lot different. This clearly isn't the right suspect. Lucian Donaldson. Those initials don't match the ones on the letter. I don't think this person is our suspect.
It's Peyton!
Peyton Ferguson. The initials match those on the letter we got at the Lamplight Depot.
I'd say it's our best bet.
Cool, so do we have a new map location?
Remind me, Miles, why are we here again? Is this for your own personal satisfaction, or did you expect her to have some useful information?
I just clicked. I neglected the question marks in the corner for the other two locations. My bad.
You stand accused of kidnapping Charles Harris. What have you to say in your defense?
I had to see if I could speak with my son Alexander again.
Yes. According to your initial statement, you seem to believe that the Harris child is the reincarnation of your own deceased son.
All the evidence was there. I thought it had to be him.
And in regards to the execution of your plan, you secretly administered a soporific drug to your friend and the Harris family nanny, Mrs. Henrietta Davis? Is that correct?
Yes. I felt terrible about doing it, but there was no other way.
According to your journal, you used a mixture of chamomile and valerian, instructed by a Samuel, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Samuel is a friend of mine. He works at the docks, and he knows all about plants. I asked him what the best combination of herbs would be to put someone in a deep sleep.
So it was your idea, and not his?
Yes, that's right. He only told me about the plants. He's quite the expert. Why, you should see his collection of Easter lilies.
Did she just say what I think she said?
Now then, let's turn our attention to the night in question.
So this trip wasn't a total waste of
This Samuel
time.
person might be worth looking into. Although we can't waste time searching the docks with just a first name. I'd make a note of it, just in case it becomes relevant later. All right, I've had enough of this courtroom. Let's get back out there. Time's running out.
I wasn't expecting to get that information. I'm down. Oh, and there's a third question mark down at the bottom. Whoops.
What happened? Where am
What?
I?
You don't remember last night?
What'd I do?
Donaldson got the better of you. You've been out cold for hours.
I suppose that explains the headache.
Now, do you want the bad news or the worst
I lost
news?
my locations.
Just give it to me.
That wasn't our saboteur, and we've lost several hours. There's no way we'll be able to find the Justice Killer in time. Time to face the music.
No.
Miles Fordham in my jail. I have to admit, I always had a feeling this day would come.
Fantastic. And here I thought Riverview was the worst place we could end up. Maybe if the police ever grow a brain between them, they'll catch the Justice Killer and you two can be neighbors. In the meantime, you get to spend your days chatting with Giles. Lucky you.
May I help you with something, young lady?
Yes, I'm here to see my husband, Miles Fordham.
Your husband? You really know how to pick 'em, Fordham.
Shut your mouth, Giles.
Hey now, a little respect for your jailkeeper. Go ahead and speak to him, but don't take too long. 5 minutes and then on your way.
How did you get into this mess?
I don't think I can tell it all in 5 minutes. I was trying to catch the man who caused Bill's death, and I ran out of time.
How long are they going to keep you here?
I don't know, but I have a feeling it might be a very long time.
Well, you'd better believe I'll do all I can to get you out of here.
Time's up. On your way, ma'am.
Don't give up, Miles. I love you.
I love you too, Addie.
Poor Adelaide. She means well, but she won't be able to do a thing. Cheer up, Miles. You may be in jail for the next several years, but at least you won't be alone.
No. No. No, this is stupid. Okay. We did it. I did a big goof up. We should not be going to Lucian Donaldson's residence. Or Paris Wilson's residence, maybe. Peyton Ferguson, though. Oh boy, let me look at my clues. We gotta find out who sabotaged the iron mill at Theoborum Ironworks. But do we do that by talking to this fella, or are we gonna get another bad ending? Oh, please, I'm holding my breath, you guys.
Well, well. Who's this lovely specimen?
Allow me to introduce Peyton Ferguson, known Redite and prime suspect in a sabotage at the Thorbum Ironworks. I picked him up and brought him straight to you.
Ooh, a saboteur. Just leave him to me and I'll make him feel right at home.
Please find the Justice Killer soon, Miles. Being Giles' prisoner is not my idea of a good time.
Right. I'll leave you to it then. Mr. Mims, a word if you wouldn't mind?
Yes, what is it?
I found the person responsible for sabotaging your iron mill.
Oh, yeah?
His name is Peyton Ferguson. He's currently at the Bow Street Jail.
Hey, not bad. I owe you one, Detective.
He certainly does.
What can you tell me about Hannibal Kirkland?
Good worker. Mostly kept to himself. Real shame what happened to him.
Do you know if anyone here disliked Kirkland?
Enough to want him dead? Nah. There's the occasional scrap, but everyone around here gets along for the most part. Like I said, he mostly kept to himself. Head down, didn't bother nobody.
Do you know what he did outside of work?
No idea. I only ever saw him here.
You said Kirkland was a good worker?
One of my best. I knew something was up when he didn't show up for a couple of days. Don't think he'd ever missed work before.
Did he have any personal effects he kept here, or an area where he worked?
He had a cabinet downstairs in the workers' changing area, just like everyone else. You can go take a look if you want, but I don't think the police found anything. Kirkland's cabinet is the third one from the left.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
The who?
He's a serial murderer who's killed 5 men over the past 4 months.
Is that right? Never heard of him.
He may have killed one of your men. Weren't the police here asking about it?
Oh, is that what that was all about? I know they came poking around here a while back, but I was busy dealing with other things.
It's nice to see the lines of communication here are wide open.
I'll be going now.
Be careful on your way out.
Can we go to the employee area? There we go. Employee area. Gents, please stop shaving in the showers. The cleaning lady almost tore my head off. She says the drains can't take all the hair. Mims.
Just another unmarked storage cabinet.
He said third one from the left. 1, 2, 3. Oh, well. Oh, come on. I don't know what the number is. Well, there's a 3. Old blank paper up to heater.
If this actually works, I'll eat my hat.
Whoa. Dearest Mary, words cannot express the regret and sorrow I feel for how I acted last night. I swore to myself I would never harm you again after the last time, but I have failed us both. It is my deepest hope that you can forgive me and trust that I will never let this monster out again. Percival.
Well, I'll be damned.
What was that you were saying about eating your hat?
Yeah, well, the joke's on you, Miles, because I no longer have a mouth.
Doesn't seem to stop you from talking all the time, though. In any case, this is certainly an interesting revelation.
At least having a heater down here manages to keep things warm. I remember the changing rooms at the police station were always ice cold. Just another unmarked storage cabinet. Sounds like there's someone in there. If you weren't so bashful, I'd suggest joining in. You could certainly use it.
Locate Ruby.
Mr. Mims, a word if you wouldn't mind?
Yes, what is it?
Would you happen to know the combination to Hannibal Kirkland's cabinet?
No. Every worker sets their own combination, and I don't ask for it.
What happens if they were to forget it?
Well, I have them come up with some sort of personal reminder and keep those in a file.
And do you still have Kirkland's?
I'll give it to you as soon as we're done talking.
I'll be going now.
Be careful on your way out. There you go. You're lucky I only clean out my files at the end of the year.
See, I always told you I wasn't disorganized. Just preparing for the future.
Shipwreck, red and white, 3, the sign. The red and white. Oh, the sign. So 3, 1, and what was the Roman numeral up here? 3, 1, 7.
Empty. That's disappointing.
Not completely empty. There's something at the bottom here.
The Gilded Lily. 12 refined ladies in waiting, all sizes, petite, skinny, buxom. Oh, this is a brothel ad.
It seems our friend Hannibal had a few extracurricular activities after all.
Gilded lily, huh? That's a bit suspicious.
Right?
Who knew such a pretty flower could cause such an inconvenience? The answer to that question is me, in case you were wondering. Flowers bring nothing but trouble. Trouble and snot.
That's enough, Bill. We need to get a move on.
Well, what if we go to Miss McDonough first, because we heated up that letter.
Hello again, Mr. Fordham.
Can we talk some more, Mrs. McDonough?
I suppose so, yes.
Do you know anything about this letter?
I'm afraid I don't have my spectacles. What is it?
The coroner found it in your husband's pocket. He gave it to me because he thought it was blank. But after you told me about your husband's propensity for writing secret messages, I decided to try exposing the paper to heat. Allow me to read it to you. Dearest Mary, words cannot express the regret and sorrow I feel for how I acted last night. I swore to myself I would never harm you again after the last time, but I have failed us both. It is my deepest hope that you can forgive me and trust that I will never allow this monster out again.
I see. May I have that letter, Mr. Fordham?
I'm afraid I have to keep it for now. It's evidence.
I suppose that does make sense.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is the Justice Killer going after men who were abusive to their partners?
Mrs. McDonough, did Percival mistreat or abuse you?
He wasn't a bad man, Mr. Fordham. I wouldn't have married him if he was. It's just the stress of his responsibilities would sometimes oppress him. I would try and offer comfort, soothe his nerves, but there were a few instances where he lost control of his passions.
Did he ever hit you?
He did.
How many times did this happen?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe 2 or 3? You don't exactly count these things.
What a bastard. Maybe it serves him right for getting shot.
Thank you for your candor, Mrs. McDonough.
Can we please talk about something else?
Those are all the questions I have for now, Mrs. McDonough.
All right, Mr. Fordham.
We're seeing a link. I'm glad we got Linda Walker's testimony. It was Samuel who worked at the docks. Let's locate Ruby. Maybe she's at the Gilded Lily.
Well, hello there, handsome. Welcome to the Gilded Lily. Come over here and tell me what kind of pleasure it is you're looking for.
I'm afraid I'm here for business, not pleasure.
Oh, well, that's just a shame, isn't it?
I'm Miles Fordham, private investigator. And you are?
You can call me Serafina. I'm in charge of this establishment.
You won't mind if I take a look around or ask you some questions?
As long as you keep to the front room, you can do whatever you like. Beyond that, you're gonna have to pay.
Maybe it's best if you leave this part out when you tell Adelaide about the case later. Oh, my virgin eyes! You certainly won't find art like that at the National Gallery. What a charming statue. Wouldn't she get cold fetching water in that state of undress?
May I ask you a few questions, Serafina?
Of course you may, but I can't guarantee the answers will be free.
Do you know anything about the Justice Killer?
I'm afraid not, dear. I don't normally associate with killers.
Are you sure you don't know anything? He's the reason I'm here.
Well, I can assure you I know nothing about your murderer. If the trail has led you here, it's surely just coincidence.
Yeah, she seems awfully certain of that. It's a good thing we don't believe in coincidences.
Did you have a man named Hannibal Kirkland as a client?
I make it my practice not to learn the names of any customers here, Mr. Fordham. I hate to disappoint anyone who comes through those doors, but discretion is paramount in this business.
Well, at least you know you can trust these women with your secrets.
This is a lovely establishment you have, and such a nice name, too.
Thank you, my dear. It wasn't always called the Gilded Lily, though. We were formerly known as Le Maison de Tolérance.
What inspired the name change?
That's a bit of a long story. Not worth getting into.
How long have you been operating?
Going on 25 years. Business has been good. There's a reason this is the world's oldest profession, you know.
So, how did you get into this business?
Like many of the other girls, it was the best of some bad options. I had no interest in being beholden to a husband. I may be a fallen woman, but better to fly and fall than to have your wings clipped.
Do you enjoy the work?
It's a job like any other, Mr. Fordham. There are good days and there are bad days. But my girls are my family. We take care of each other. I couldn't ask for anything better.
Do you by chance have a girl named Ruby in your service?
Ruby? Yes, she's one of our newest girls. She's not in any sort of trouble, is she?
Not at all. I merely wanted to speak with her.
Well, she should be in the dressing room. If you go through the rear door and follow the hallway down, it's the last door on the left.
I see. Thank you. Did you know Percival McDonough?
The politician? I knew who he was, but never met him personally.
He was seeing Ruby, wasn't he?
Not regularly, no. In fact, his first and only visit with her was yesterday.
Were you aware that he was murdered shortly after that?
I had no idea. How terrible.
Yes, it is terrible. This means she's lost a potential repeat customer.
Thank you for your time.
Of course, my dear.
Looks nervous. Wonder if this is his first time.
Oh, hello. Did Serafina send you back here for me?
Yes, but not for the usual reasons. I'm a private investigator. My name is Miles Fordham. Ruby, I presume?
Yes, that's right. What do you need from me?
Just some information.
Well, I'll do my best.
Lily, 1809 to 1843. I wonder what happened to her.
Is that his mom? Is that Samuel's mom? Was he a brothel baby?
I'm guessing this is where most of the girls keep their personal belongings. Doesn't seem to offer much in the way of privacy. The girls here don't get much in the way of a dressing area. Still, something is better than nothing, I suppose.
So, Ruby.
Yes?
How long have you been in this business?
Only a few months now. Used to work at a kitchen, but then they brought in some of those new automated machines.
Sadly familiar story.
At least this profession isn't in any danger of being made obsolete by steam tech. Cold steel can never replace a warm touch.
Let's just hope that's true.
That's a rather nice portrait. Who's the subject?
Oh, that's Lily. Before my time. Serafina knows loads about her. Even changed the name of this place in her honor. You might try asking her if you want to know more.
Have you heard of the Justice Killer?
No, I don't believe so.
He's a serial murderer who's killed 5 victims, mostly men from Chumley.
Oh dear, that sounds dreadful. Is that what you're investigating?
It is. Do you know anyone who might have some information about him?
I don't. Sorry I can't be more help.
Did you ever have a client named Hannibal Kirkland?
No, that name doesn't sound familiar. Sorry.
Do you know Ennis Bowditch?
Bowditch? Didn't think I'd be hearing that name again.
As I understand it, he was seeing your friend, the serving girl at the ruined coffee house.
Yeah, that's right. Annabelle. She broke things off with him a while ago, though.
So she said. Did you ever know him to be violent?
Violent? The bastard nearly beat Annabelle's brains in once. Why do you think she chucked him?
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
At least she had the good sense to get rid of him.
Perhaps we should go confirm this newly discovered fact with Annabelle.
Did you ever meet a man named Burley Cause?
No, I remember because she was laughing about his name. He wasn't very burly, if you get my meaning.
Right. Are you familiar with Reggie Willingham?
Oh, him? He had to be banned from here.
Really? What happened?
He got way too rough with one of the girls. She ended up shy a few teeth.
Dear Lord.
Yeah, apparently
Yep,
he wasn't too
I think we
fond
found
of
the
boundaries.
motive.
Good riddance to him, I say.
Were you aware that Mr. Willingham was murdered?
What? Oh, well, now I feel terrible for saying good riddance. I meant...
I think I know what you meant, Ruby. It's fine.
Is it me, or is there a pattern starting to emerge here?
Right? But did you have to do it to Bill?
You met recently with Percival McDonough, is that right?
How did you know that? I thought he was meant to keep those sorts of things private.
He had your name written down in his calendar.
And you found me here based on that?
Well, I am a detective.
Suppose that's true. Anyway, yes. I only met him the one time. There wasn't anything remarkable about him. After we finished, he got all emotional about his wife, but I could hardly understand what he was saying. I hate it when they cry afterwards.
I'll just leave you to it then.
Thanks, love.
May I ask you a few questions, Serafina?
Of course you may, but I can't guarantee the answers will be free.
Could you tell me about the young lady in the portrait hanging in the back room?
Ah, that's Lily Peterson. She was a wonderful woman and a great friend.
What happened to her?
It's a rather tragic story, Mr. Fordham. I'd rather not go into too much detail. The short version is this. She was with a client who got very carried away. She was able to defend herself enough to mortally wound the bastard, but the damage had already been done. The girls and I decided among us that we would rename this establishment in her honor. Some days it's still hard to believe she's gone. I haven't even been able to get rid of her box of things.
I'm very sorry for your loss, Serafina.
Thank you, dear. It was especially awful given Lily's past. Her sister died at the hands of her own husband some 16 years before. Some people just can't escape tragedy, no matter how far they run.
Huh. Something tells me these deaths are significant. It might be a good idea to learn as much as we can about Lily Peterson.
Show me the box.
Thank you for your time.
Of course, my dear.
I'm not too familiar with places like this, but I believe that's where the fun happens, if you've got the crowns for it. I'm guessing this is where most of the girls keep their personal belongings. Doesn't seem to offer much in the way of privacy.
Aha, okay.
Cut down in her prime. I can relate. No lilies? Seems like a missed opportunity. That's a nice locket for being such a cheap piece of jewelry.
Three one three 2213. Huh.
We've exhausted her knowledge for now, I think.
Begging your pardon, miss.
How can I help you, sir?
I spoke with your friend Ruby. She told me something quite disturbing.
What was that?
She said that Ennis had fits of violence, and that the reason you ended your relationship was because he hit you.
Why would she tell you that? That was my secret to tell, not hers. I thought we were friends.
It's obvious she cares about you and was worried about your well-being.
Well, it hardly matters now Ennis is dead, does it?
But is it true? Did he raise his hand to you?
Yes. It is true. As I said before, something changed in him. I have no idea what, but I had to get away.
I see. Thank you for your honesty. I'm sorry you had to experience what you did. I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you, sir.
Need a refresher on my to-do list. Oh, thank goodness. It's been significantly cut down. Okay. We still need to investigate the Gilded Lily. Learn more about Lily Peterson's murder.
So, Ruby.
Yes?
Serafina told me that Lily's possessions are still here. Do you know where they're kept?
Yeah, in that cabinet over there. Lily had a special place in Serafina's heart. I don't think she has the nerve to get rid of this stuff yet.
Do you think I could take a look through it?
Oh, I don't know.
Serafina never has to know. I promise I'll only look, not touch.
If I had a crown for every time I'd heard that. But, alright. As long as you keep your word and don't take anything from the box, I'll let you have a look. I'll get it for you after.
I'll just leave you to it then.
Thanks, love. There you go. All yours for the browsing.
These don't look too valuable. A cheap ring. Must have had sentimental value because otherwise there'd be no point in keeping it. Nice scarf, impressively clean too. Lily clearly took care of her things. Let's see what we have in here.
February 11th. Dear Miss Peterson, while it is unorthodox practice for a detective to maintain contact with the relatives of a victim after the case has been closed, your story has touched me on a deeper level. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to help you during this something difficult time. I understand you have decided to take it upon yourself to raise your sister's son, and for that I commend and respect your strength of will. Again, do not hesitate to contact me if there's anything I can do to help. Yours, Detective Lester Barnett. Okay, Samuel, not the son, he's the nephew. So he's got some trauma from witnessing domestic abuse, domestic violence from his father towards his mother, and that has carried him over into adulthood. And that connects all the 5 murders thus far. But why'd he have to throw Bill off the roof? You know? Is there something deeper?
It's kind of sad that Lily kept that letter all these years. Guess she never really got over her sister's death.
Button?
One of 3 buttons with an engraved lily on it. I wonder if they're just decorative or if they have some other purpose.
Ooh, the code. The code. 3132213.
Well now, I think we just found ourselves a bonanza.
Aunt Lily, I tried, God knows I tried, but I couldn't let that bastard get away with his crime. I refused to watch you suffer the same fate as Mother. Justice had to be done. I've snuffed out his life just as he tried to choke yours out of your body. The blood that stains this letter is his. As I write this, you're in the hospital bed unconscious. I don't know if I'll ever be able to speak with you again, but I am placing this letter in your secret place in the hope that you will someday be able to read it. In the meantime, I have discovered my true calling. I must dispense justice to those who harm innocent women. I have seen the cycle of violence go on for far too long. I have lost both my mother and aunt to violent men, and I must stop this from happening again. I spoke with Gloria, and she told me she had been violated by one of her clients, an iron worker named Hannibal Kirkland. I will observe his habits until the time is right to strike. After he is taken care of, I will find others and do the same until this wretched city is scrubbed clean. I need to send a message. Love to you as always. Okay. Oh boy.
May I ask you a few questions, Serafina?
Of course you may, but I can't guarantee the answers will be free.
Serafina, what can you tell me about Lily's nephew?
Her nephew? I didn't know she had a nephew. Lily didn't talk much about her family, as you can probably imagine.
You're not lying to me, are you?
I have nothing to hide from you.
Except maybe the truth. But I don't think we have what we need to make her talk. If there even is anything that would make her talk.
Thank you for your time.
Of course, my dear.
The only person I can think of to ask about that is our ex-boss, Chief Snelling.
Chief Snelling?
Yes, Fordham?
Do you recall a murder involving a woman named Lily Peterson about a year ago?
Lily Peterson? Yes, that name does sound familiar. Of course, the prostitute murder. That wasn't one of yours, was it?
No, it wasn't. Do you remember any other details?
As I recall, the woman was beaten severely by one of her clients, who escaped and was never found. She died a few days later in the hospital. How is this of any relevance, exactly?
That's what I'm trying to piece together. Did you know that Lily Peterson had a sister who was killed some 16 years ago?
I didn't. Are you suggesting that's related somehow?
I think it is. Would you be able to get me the case file?
What was the victim's name?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
That might be a bit more difficult, unless you can give me more details.
I'll try my best.
Very well. What year did you say the case was from?
My heart is telling me 1828. Hopefully there's no repercussions for this.
It was 16 years ago, so 1828.
Right.
Of
and who
course.
was the detective assigned to the case?
Barnett.
It was Lester Barnett.
Right. He was quite active in those days. And what was the victim's official cause of death?
It was strangulation.
All right. I'll have a look and see if I find anything. Yes. Here we are.
Score.
This should be a match. Have a look.
So we have our killer's last name and possible first name, assuming he's the same man Linda Walker talked about. Perhaps it's time to ask about him at the docks.
New Britannia Police Department, Worcester, Kingsland, March 30th, 1828. Liam Collins, Daisy Collins, 3734, gunshot, self-inflicted strangulation. Police were notified after a neighbor heard shouting and general commotion from the Collins apartment. Upon arrival, they found Daisy Collins in the living room with clear signs of strangulation. In the bedroom, they found Liam Collins, the apparent victim of a self-inflicted gunshot to the head. Well, that's okay. He picked that up from his dad. What do you do with an abusive man? One gunshot wound to the head. Searching the rest of the apartment, officers found a young child aged approximately 4 years old hiding in a closet. The child did not respond to questions and was visibly upset. Detective Lester Barnett conducted an investigation and determined that Liam Collins attacked his wife, likely under the influence of alcohol, and accidentally caused her death. Upon realizing what he had done, he used his own pistol to take his life. The child had been taken into police custody and is awaiting transfer to an orphanage if no next of kin is located. Bye, Snelling.
You again? What do you need?
A few more questions, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Do you know a man named Samuel Collins?
Yes, I do. He's one of my workers.
Is he working today?
No, it's his day off. Why do you ask?
I'm very interested in speaking with him. Could you tell me where I can find him?
I don't just give out information on my men to strangers. What reason do you have for wanting to speak with him?
I believe he may be involved in some serious crimes.
Is that right? And what are these serious crimes, exactly?
I don't think he cares about the Justice Killer. Would he care if someone's stealing from him or his customers more? I think if he was stealing from him, if we told him that, his thought would be, well, I'll deal with this internally. But because he has to keep track of everything coming and going, if someone stole from one of the customers, he would be very upset and would want us to track him down immediately. Let's see if my logic there pays off.
I believe he stole from one of your customers.
What? From who?
The Hanbrook Flower Shop. He stole several orders of Easter
Oh, of
lilies.
course.
The Hanbrook Flower Shop? They're not one of my customers. I only sell to wholesalers.
A minor detail. The point remains that your man's a burglar.
That's quite a serious claim. What proof do you have?
You can hear it straight from the man who works at the shop that was burgled.
Well, where is he then?
Wait here just a moment.
Well, it worked out for us anyway.
Excuse me, Mr. Hastings?
What is it, Detective? As I said, I'm rather busy.
I was wondering if you might help me with something. Could you please tell the shipping manager over there about the burglaries at your flower shop?
Certainly.
Go ahead, Mr. Hastings.
Right. It all started around 5 months ago. And he didn't come around again after that night.
Thank you, Mr. Hastings. That'll do. Now are you convinced?
Fine. I hate to lose two of my men in such a short amount of time, but if he's done wrong, I can't just stand by. Samuel lives in Chumley, at 210 Abattoir Row.
Thank you, sir. You may have just saved several lives.
But I'm going to have to spend several crowns in order to get things back to normal. Now, if
Of
you'll
course, that's what
excuse
he's
me-
focused on. Oh boy, we just have to go to his house. We just gotta go to his house. Everybody gang! There he is. Our Shadow Man. Everything we've done from episode 1 has led up to this moment.
Samuel Collins?
Yes?
I'm Terrence Shackley from the Labor Department. I wanted to ask you some questions about your employer at the docks.
Oh, of course. Please come in.
That's his voice.
I'm sorry. What did you say your name was?
Terrence Shackley? But it's not my real name. I just used it to get into your apartment. I believe you did something similar at the Houses of Parliament with Mr. McDonough.
So, you're Fordham. The one who was snooping
Oh, I got
around at the
chills.
Gilded Lily.
Indeed. We meet again, Mr. Collins.
Of course. The rooftop. I'm sorry about what happened to your partner. It wasn't my intent for him to die.
Oh, he's sorry, is he? Is that supposed to make things better?
I suppose this encounter was inevitable. But I admit I didn't think it would be this soon. So, you're here to arrest me.
We gotta be careful. Yes, that's right, you're under arrest. You're lucky I don't kill you. You know what they say about assuming. It makes an ass out of you and me.
Assumptions are like souffles. Making them seems like a good idea, but they soon prove to be more trouble than they're worth.
Not to mention they're puffed up with air and deflate when you poke them.
So you're not planning to arrest me? That makes sense.
Arresting you wouldn't be proper justice. You've taken so many lives.
Oh,
I also don't think I personally have the authority to arrest you.
Every one of those men deserved what they got.
But not Bill!
No. What they did was far worse. Inexcusable. Unforgivable. I had to make sure justice was done.
You need to pay what you did to my partner. I understand why you killed them, but that doesn't make it right.
I understand your reasons, but that doesn't mean your actions were justified. You need to pay for your crimes, one way or another.
My crimes? What about theirs? If not for me, they would have gotten away with them.
There are other ways of upholding justice, Collins. Ways that don't involve mass murder.
The system is broken. Criminals get away all the time. You know that.
Only too well.
But you comprehend my situation. You understand my reasons for doing what I do.
Understanding is not the same as approval.
But it is the first step.
Is this bastard really suggesting what I think he is?
All I ask is that you allow me to continue my work in peace. You looked the other way once before. You can do it again.
You're right. I did look the other way, and it wound up costing my partner his life. You're out of your mind if you think I'm going to just let you keep killing.
Damn right, Miles. This has to end.
Then you leave me no choice.
Uh-oh. I can't do anything.
Fordham, are you all right?
Did you follow me here?
Yes, I'm fine.
So, this is our justice killer?
That's right.
I suppose congratulations are in order. You did well in finding him.
Thank you, Chief Snelling. I'm glad we were finally able to work together.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you weren't so brash as to confront him without notifying me first.
Oh,
Perhaps
okay,
there's hope
good.
for you yet. Now then, I'll go get the other officers so we can lock down the scene and remove the body. Wait here.
Quite a night, hey, Bill?
He's
Bill?
not gonna answer.
Are you there?
Got the closure.
Bill?
It was our closure, not his. 2 weeks later. Oh, I'm gonna cry.
It's good of you to do this, Miles. Do you need some time alone?
If you wouldn't mind.
All right. I'll wait for you over by the sycamores.
So, it's finally over. I have to admit, it's been strange not hearing you all the time anymore. Never in a million years did I think I would actually miss it. But the important thing is you've moved on, and I got what I was looking for. I'm starting up my own private detective agency, you know.
Oh.
Addie and Upton are going to be my partners.
Oh my my god, I love
It
that.
should be interesting, to say the least. Oh, that reminds me. I brought you a little something. It's not much, but I thought you might appreciate it. Thank you for all your help, Bill. I truly would have been lost without it.
Bill, wake up. Your grave is on fire.
Bill, wake up! Your grave is on fire! Well, I thought it was funny. Goodbye, old friend.
Oh,
I love you.
I'm tearing up. We correctly solved every case. Just forget about that little episode where we were in jail. That never happened, okay? It took us a while, but we finally reached the end. I feel satisfied. Everything is great. I can't wait to check out more games from this developer, and I encourage you to do so as well. As always, there's a link down in the description to the Steam page so you can check it out for yourself. I can see myself going back and replaying this and just making all the bad, horrible, wrong decisions just to see what kind of funny outcomes there will be. I'm speechless. Every time I finish a game, I'm speechless, so I'm just gonna say my normal outro. Thank you so much for joining me. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, I hope to see you next time. Bye!